Sandwich, Massachusetts, the oldest town on Cape Cod, is home to a small village of historic buildings that provide a glimpse into colonial times. The Hoxie House on Shawnee Pond may be the oldest. The official date of the Hoxie House is 1675, the year Reverend John Smith and his family moved in, but it could date to as early as 1637, the year Sandwich was settled. The house is a salt box, so called for the resemblance of the roof to the hinged lid of a salt box. Salt boxes were designed for energy efficiency. The two-story, short-roofed front faced south for passive solar heat collection, and the long, steeply sloping back roof faced north to provide protection from wind and weather. The house remained in the Smith family for nearly 2 centuries, but it's named for Captain Abraham Hoxie, a whaler who purchased it in 1860. Born in Sandwich in 1808, Hoxie went to sea at 13 and spent 40 years whaling, circumnavigating the globe 3 times. Although he built a large 2-story home in South Sandwich when he retired, he took a liking to the 200-year-old house in the village, perhaps because it was closer to the sea. The house remained in the Hoxie family until 1952, after which it fell into disrepair. Town clerk and treasurer Channing Hoxie made an influential plea to save the house from demolition. It was an ideal candidate for historic preservation because electricity and plumbing were never installed. In 1959, the town approved funds to restore it as an historic site. Boston architect George Sherwood, who had worked on the old Boston State House and Saugus Iron Works, completed the extensive restoration in 1960. Today, a visit to the Hoxie House is like a trip back in time. There are just 3 rooms, 2 downstairs, and 1 up the narrow stairway. Original architectural features include the large hearth, wide plank floors, and front door. Tours enter the house by the back door into the keeping room, once the heart of family life. Here, women perform daily chores, meal preparation, sewing, weaving, and spinning yarn on implements like a weasel, which made a pop when the skein was filled. The large fireplace was essential for heating, cooking, and many other household tasks. Inside, metal trammel hooks and rods let cooks adjust the temperature of the different dishes they were preparing. Pies and breads were baked in the oven at the rear. This loom was discovered beneath a woodpile on the property and is believed to be one of the oldest in the country. The wooden stairway, some might call it a ladder, is also original to the house. This 17th century leaded glass window was found in an East Sandwich farmhouse. The other Hoxie House windows are replicas, the only replicas in the house. The rest of the furnishings and artifacts in the house are period pieces, some on loan from the Boston Museum of Fine Arts. Next to the keeping room is the Great Room, where in the late 1600s, Reverend John Smith would have met with town and colony officials to discuss local matters of church and state. This spacious room has a large carrying beam with chamfered edges to help reduce the risk from fire.
Hi, my name is Eileen Dustin Burns, and I'm now the curator of the Hoxie House here in Sandwich. I've been actually working at the Hoxie House probably about maybe 16 years. I love it. And I have to be honest, everybody that's worked with me has loved it too. We kind of take on the place. It seems like it's our house and we take care of it. If you come here to do the tour, you're going to love it. Not only are you going to love the house, you're going to love the people. The fireplace in there, the chimney goes right to the sky. You can see right outside because they had no flues or anything like that. And the way they clean the chimney, they would take a chicken and they'd take his legs, go up there, drop him down, and he'd all the way down the chimney, and guess what? Clean as a whistle. He wasn't so clean, but the chimney was. Also in that room is what we call a strong box. That belongs, by the way, to the Museum of Fine Arts. It's not loan to us. It has 8 locks on it. If you look at it, it's really, really wicked interesting. And the other thing, that it's solid iron. Now, this particular one, supposedly from the Museum of Fine Arts, says that that came over on the Mayflower. Well, most of anything like that did, okay? Now, it's solid iron. The house burns down. Guess what? Reverend Smith lives here. He's got all these official papers. Guess where they are? In there. And guess what? Everything in that house burns but that box. So they had, it was safe for them. Also, the door in the other room, they have like a board that goes across. Supposedly the Indians taught them how to do that. Now, by the way, a lot of nails on the door. The more nails you had on your door, the wealthier you were, because nails were very, very expensive. Okay? Now, during the Revolutionary War, they came through and took all those windows, and while they took them, they had lead in them, and they made bullets out of them. And if you look at it, it's like painting. You say, well, isn't that crazy? Well, guess what? They were taxed on their windows. They were taxed on the light coming in the windows. So you know what they did? They painted the windows. So there you go. There's whitewash on that. You can't see in, you can't see out. The tax collector said, not a window. They didn't tax them. Okay, upstairs is a bed, and it's called a trundle bed. So they would pull out that bed, and they didn't sleep the kids head to toe. They slept the kids this way so that they could get more kids on, okay? And they slept in that bed. Now, the other thing is, you're going to get married. It's all great now. You're engaged and everything, okay? So guess what? You're going to go get your friends, and you're going to make a bed. And they made the bed. They took and they put it all together and they made it. Then they took the rope and they went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. At the end, they would tie the knot and see it. Now, the other thing, of course, like I told you, is that open space up there where the girls slept, and there was a ladder. They had to get up there. Then the parents would take the ladder away at night. There's so many things in here, and if you like history, you just walk in a place and all of a sudden you're crazy about it.
We hope you've enjoyed this virtual tour of the Hoxie House, and we look forward to seeing you in person soon.